Cell. In cell number 3, you will find the other sounds of Philadelphia. Yeah. The other sounds of Philadelphia. We're here to celebrate the legacy of Benjamin Banneker. It's not in the history books that he's a polymath. And if it is, they just updated. Yeah, he's a farmer. Yeah, he produced his own almanac. But when they listed him, polymaths, the Renaissance men of the 1790s and the 1780s, he wasn't among that list. Well, we're dusting the books off. So put it in your Wikipedia. Put it in your favorite search engine. Polymath. Benjamin Banneker. With accurate predictions of solar and lunar eclipse. Yeah, this is back in the 1790s. Paying your respects. And in his almanacs, he wrote about the importance of the honeybee way before it was trendy. Way before it was known fact. Once again, Banneker was ahead of the curve. But we're going to talk about that astronomy for a minute. Because there was hundreds and hundreds of astronomers of his time. But there was only 2 that was recorded to say that there were multiple galaxies. One was a gentleman from Germany, and the other was Benjamin Banneker. And they were not in correspondence, but they came to the same conclusion, just these 2. Yeah, once again, Banneker is ahead of the curve.
Place I'd rather be. Up here, studio just creating. Creative, spontaneous composition. This is TR7 on all soundscape tracks. I gotta go now, y'all. Peace.
Fatiha, the opening. But what does this device open? One's soul? The clouds in your mind blocking the needed reply to every unanswered question of significance? The mouth of a liar? The safe of a conspirator and his cache of classified documentation purchased through dark means? The gates to a divine place where those who you miss dearly are waiting patiently for your arrival. Maybe it's a sophisticated way to open a book to the first page and begin a story that will go places you can and can't imagine. Fatiha, the opening. Ascension, an ode to Lawrence Tripp Miller. What are we ascending to? How do we ascend? Do we climb? Do we grab a hold and wait for the conveyor to be powered by our spirit and whisk us up? What awaits us in the light? Is it Lawrence Tripp Miller? Is he a friend, a foe, or neither? Is he sad, and does his blue represent a sea of tears flowing from above? Exactly which way is up, and does it matter? Will you go regardless when asked? Ascension, an ode to Lawrence Tripp Miller. Seed of knowledge. What information does it bestow upon you? Information for financial gain to increase your rankings in this capitalistic society? Information that aids your ability to guide your offspring to heights you couldn't imagine for yourself? Information on why you exist in the first place? Information whose intent is to shine a light on the fact that you know nothing, just to indulge in its own joy of watching you become less confident. Where is this information streaming from? What if it doesn't give it all? What if it wants to extract information from you? Who deems how much the knowledge is worth? Seed of knowledge. DNA strand 1. Is it the DNA of an artist? Is it the DNA of the first artist? Who was the first artist? If God created all, was it in fact he, her, they, it, all the first artists? If it was the scientific explanation of a Big Bang, would this all just be an accidental explosion of life and beauty, which in itself, by default, would be the beginning of an ongoing painting, which is art? Are we all just one strand of DNA? Are we all DNA strand 1? Axis of matrix. An infinite void leading to an unforeseen conclusion. Are you the one? Or are you the zero? Do you feel trapped inside the confines of the illusion? Or do you stick your hand out to touch the freedom you thought avoided you? What if that isn't out? What if this access was the freedom but focused? What if focus is freedom? What if this is tunnel vision and stepping outside of it is the prison? What if distraction is our prison? Axis of matrix.
starstruck memories pose questions of the loops. This is the cause of it all. Finalize the echo, relevant, recoup. The converse in concert. I'd rather be in concert with the trailblazing transmission of it all. Political issues of it all. A fistful of it all. I wish you would residual, radical. My fedora bends the slight eyebrow of the scowl, the night watch of the owl. Stay off the urban thick internet. Collected definement. Collected definement. The bucks of the eagle. Definement. The air horn blown. Definement. So bright it's dark. You spark the interest of the 7-chamber audio violin.
Blue moon. And here you were led to believe it was white. This takes me back to the glass world Dr. Manhattan built out of the moon during his time of leisure. Why did he construct it like that? Why did TR7 construct his like this? Springing up out of the concrete, it has the aesthetic of one of those elaborate mechanisms where a marble rolling down a plank sets off a series of events that ultimately lead to a gerbil being freed up to spin on a wheel. Feels futuristic and archaic. An ancient depiction of a future we have yet to see. Is this what they thought AI would look like? Blue moon. Apothecary Data Correlation Center. What medicines have you prepared and who do you plan to heal? Are your intentions nefarious or do you actually want to see a more healthier and thriving race of man? This isn't poison, right? Billions are made to poison even though the labeling speaks to healing. They've misdiagnosed their intentions. Are you different medicine man who has prepared to sell? Why not give it away and take my improvement as payment? Why should I believe you're here to help me? I want to believe you're here to help me. Apothecary Data Correlation Center. Ice Station 0. Only for the coldest. Free from conjecture and swarming with conviction. You're as cold as ice. Things not meant or not said. Jadakiss said no wasted bars, and I am inclined to believe. You don't deserve anything, earn nothing, and only leave with what you take. There's no secret code that grants you access to this station and no higher up instructed of flesh and bone that can put a word in. Only those worthy operate the console at Ice Station 0 because they are the only ones it hears. Ice Station 0.
Litigated colleges. We had the Roman Hammer, Zine Cater. And we had a single playlist. Oh, yeah, that's real. I mean, Spade by Sheets. Yeah, this is just a diary. You know? Since somebody read my diary out loud, I just do it myself, you know? It's conversation, you know, that's all. We're here in the laboratories. Conceptual artists. Brother Taji. What's up? Thank you for having me. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
William Classic Thomas and Sequoia Leaf, starring in Banneker versus Jefferson.
And your Lord inspired the bees, saying, "Make your hives in the hills and in the trees and in the trellises which the people erect. Then eat of every kind of fruit and follow the ways and laws of your Lord, as that have been made easy for you. There comes forth from their insides a fine fluid of varying hues, which is a cure for the people. In fact, in this, there is a sign for a people who reflect."
But check this out. One day, Banneker hears these stories of how these people owned slaves. Don't forget, Banneker was a free man. But he was concerned about the plight of his people. In the corridors of halls of knowledge, which he was allowed to attend, he would say, "What is this I hear about Thomas Jefferson owning slaves?" So when he returned to his farm, this disturbed his soul. And he began to pen a scholarly document challenging Thomas Jefferson. The first public protest letter in United States history. Published in his almanac that was widely successful. And then in the subsequent edition, Jefferson tried to be honorable. He replied with a written reply and sent it back to Banneker. And in his response, Jefferson, with his political acumen, he dodged, just like the politicians of the day. He slipped and slide around the concept. But guess what? Banneker published it in his next edition. Yes, it has been documented.
everything is so desperate. But every day is a matter of survival. I don't think you have a choice. How can you be an artist and not reflect the times?
New galaxy. Planets in orbit. It's different. New galaxy. Planets in orbit. Galaxy.